The lights flicker on. Stadium shadows stretch long and cold across the track. The crowd roars, but to him it is distenter, muffled pulse against the quiet screaming inside his chest. In these final seconds, time stretches. One breath, one heartbeat could decide years of sacrifice, training, and ambition. Usain Bolt crouches into the blocks. His body is coiled steel, trembling with restrained energy. Muscles scream to move, but the start has not come. His mind races, cataloguing every possible error. False starts, cramping hamstrings, a misstep that could shatter everything. Fear isn't loud, Harit is suffocating, a presence heavier than any competitor. Every instinct begs him to retreat, to survive, to preserve the fragile vessel of human anatomy against impossible forces. And yet, he cannot retreat. To retreat is to betray himself, to waste potential that few are ever allowed to grasp. The blocks dig into his palms. The white lane lines stare back like the edge of a blade. In this silence, Bolt Ice&T, just waiting for a gun, he is waiting to confront the abyss of his own limits. The race hasn't started, but the danger already exists. The race is here, and so is the fear. 8 lanes stretch ahead, parallel ribbons of concrete and paint. The stadium is alive, but alive in a way that isolates him even further. A tide of humanity surrounds him, a swirling mass of expectation and noise. Yet he feels like the only person in the world. Each spectator's cheer presses down like weight. Each camera flash a judgment. The gun is no longer a signal, it is a threat. One misfire, one twitch, and years of work evaporate. The crowd expects celebration, but Bolt knows this moment is not about applause. It is about survival. The lanes are narrow corridors where history will be made or broken in less than 10 seconds. The contrast is brutal. The world erupts outside, yet inside him there is stillness. His breathing, precise but tense. His mind razor-sharp, calculating force, stride, and timing. Every muscle waits for the signal, yet they fight instinct to move too soon. Here, isolation is absolute. At the peak of pressure, there is no one to help you, no one to save you, only the track and the limits of your own body. The body is not cooperative. It resists with every fiber. Veins throb, lungs crave air, and the heart threatens to betray him with uncontrolled pounding. Fear surfaces not of the crowd, not of losing, but of betrayal by the body itself. One muscle tear, one cramp, one lapse of coordination, and the years of sacrifice vanish in an instant. Bolt feels the delicate tension between survival and ambition. Every nerve screams, slow down, preserve yourself, retreat. But ambition has a voice sharper than pain. It whispers, push, go further, transcend. He battles internally, a war fought in milliseconds. Muscles quiver with anticipation, yet remain restrained. Ready to unleash a force that human anatomy was never built to contain. Fear and desire collide. The human body is wired to protect, but the mind demands greatness. The split between instinct and aspiration stretches into agony. But it is here, in this invisible crucible, that champions are made. The gun is still silent. Time has stretched impossibly, and in this stillness, Bolt is already running against something far more dangerous than any competitor, the relentless limit of what it means to be human. The gun cracks. The world detonates, and Bolt explodes from the blocks like controlled chaos incarnate. Speed is not grace, it is violence. Feet pound the track with forces that could fracture bone. Air resists like a solid wall. Muscles tear microscopic threads of themselves to keep pace, yet continue to drive forward. Acceleration is a brutal negotiation between mind and body. Every fraction of a second demands perfection. Even the air itself seems an adversary, pressing against his chest, stealing oxygen, threatening to decelerate him before he reaches the apex of power. His stride becomes a weapon, his body a finely tuned machine of controlled destruction. The world blurs. Lane markers streak sideways. Other sprinters exist only as obstacles to surpass. Pain already whispers in his legs, but Bolt ignores it, forcing his body to obey commands no mortal physiology is meant to endure. Every step is an act of defiance against gravity, against anatomy, against time itself. The finish line is far. The clock is cruel. Every heartbeat is a gamberland. Every stride is a victory over the natural limits of survival. Halfway through, the body protests. Hamstrings tighten, lungs burn, and the legs scream with exhaustion. Each stride threatens collapse. The mind whispers warnings. Slow down, stop, live to fight another day. The crowd cannot hear it. The competitor cannot understand it. Only Bolt knows the exquisite terror of this moment. The thin line separating triumph from failure is microscopic. Doubt arrives with precision. What if the record is impossible today? What if the body gives out before the finish line? Every fiber resists. Pain is relentless, gnawing at resolve. A single misstep could undo everything. And yet, the race is not just physical, but it is psychological. Bolt confronts the terror of inadequacy, the possibility that even perfection might fail. It is here, at the breaking point, that true greatness is forged. Pushing through pain, ignoring doubt, defying survival instincts. This is where world records are made. The finish line is no longer a destination. It is a challenge to mortality itself. Bolt transcends the physical now. Pain becomes irrelevant. Fear dissolves. He is no longer competing with other humans. He is racing history, the clock, the very limits of flesh and bone. Every stride defies logic. Every breath orchestrates survival beyond instinct. Time slows. Each millisecond carries weight that would crush any ordinary athlete. The finish line approaches, but it is only a marker in a race against impossibility. He is at the edge of what humanity can endure, a living contradiction, colossal, powerful, yet balanced on razor-thin margins. This is transcendence. To the crowd, he is fast. To physics, he is remarkable. To himself, he is testing the ultimate question. How far can the human body be pushed before it answers back? With every stride, he writes a chapter in the history of human potential, and every fraction of the second feels like a battle won against destiny. The clock freezes, 9.58 seconds. The stadium erupts. Noise floods the senses. But Bolt is still it. The body that has been tortured into motion now trembles under the accumulated cost of human ambition. Greatness has been achieved, records broken, history rewritten, but the price is invisible. Microscopic tears, future injuries, the mental weight of pushing beyond normal limits. Triumph is fleeting. The consequences endure. The crowd celebrates, unaware of what just occurred. Bolt's victory is more than speed. It is survival. It is mastery of fear, pain, and doubt. It is proof that human potential can be stretched, bent, and sometimes broken, but still harnessed for a brief, shining moment. For a few terrifying seconds, Bolt did not just outrun other men, he outran the edge of humanity itself. And in that terrifying, fleeting moment, we all glimpsed what it truly means to chase greatness.